Before we add the navigator button onto the map, I first want to clean up the location page. So if I first go to the store card component and the search bar, what I want to do is I want to align them together. So if I go to my location page, I need to now add a wrapper onto the search bar container and the search results container. So I'm just going to call this left side container, like so. And within this left side container, I'm now going to insert the search results container and the search bar container. If I now create a div for this left side container, so add this into my imports and now go to my styles. If I export const the left side container, which is equal to styles.div, and now if I save, what I want to do is I want to now display this container as flex, and that will push it into a row like so. And now to put it back into a column, I just need to give it a flex direction of column. And I also want to give this a max width of 600 pixels, 100 pixels like so, just so it's contained within the left side. Now, if I go into the outer container of the map component and now the left side container, what I want to do is I want to style this so that they are both aligned horizontally. So if I go into my container and give this a display of flex and save, that now pushes both components into a row. We now do have a scrollable element where it's displaying all of the 10 store locations. So what we want to do is style the left side again. Now that I have given a display flex to the container, what I now want to do is give the flex of 0.4 to the left side container. What this will do is it will give it a 40% width on the left side. And now save. And now if I give this flex of 0.6 to the map container, I now want to give the container a width and a height. So the width will be the full width of the screen. So in this case, 100 view width. And the height will be 100 viewport height, like so. And if I now save, that should contain everything within there. I now need to remove the width and height from my map container. So the map will now stretch out and take up the entire height of its parent. If I now go down to the left side container, I am now going to reduce the max width and take that out and save. I am now going to give the outer container an overflow of hidden, just so it's contained within the width and the height, and save. So now there isn't any overflow on here, like so. And for the left side container, I want to now give an overflow of scroll. So in this case, I want to change the y-axis only. So if I now save, as you can see this overflow scroll here at the bottom as well. So if I save, the y-axis should now have a scroll. We now want to also remove the scroll bar on the left side. So if I just copy the code I have, so what we are essentially doing is we're going to replace the WebKit scroll bar with display none. Now if I now save, we now have the layout of the location page set up. If I now expand, we have our map taking up 60% of the width of the location page, and now we have the location store cards taking up 40% of the width. Now to add the navigator button, we are first going to go to the map component, and at the bottom, after I've done my mapping, I want to add a container named location mark or navigator container, which will have an image. So I'm going to pull in the next image tag, and this image is going to have a source called location marker icon or navigator icon, and I am going to give it a width of 200 pixels and a height of 200 pixels. And if I close the image tag off, we're now going to import the navigator icon at the top. So import navigator icon from the public images folder. So upper directory, and again into my public slash images slash, and this icon is called the location marker.svg. So that one there. I also need to create this div. So if I copy the navigator container and add that to my styles, so export const, which is going to be a div like so. And now if I save all, at the minute we can't see the icon. What we need to do is style it. So if I just pull over my styles from the build I've done earlier and just paste them in. So what I essentially am going to do is when we hover over the image, I'm going to give it a cursor pointer. We're going to have a position of fixed on there, so it's fixed on the bottom right of the screen. We now need to position that, so if we put it as 60 pixels at the bottom and 40 pixels at the right, we're going to have a padding within inside the image, a border radius of 50 pixels to make it look like a circle. The background color is going to be the primary color, so we're going to pull in the props. So if I get my props, and we're going to return the props.theme.primary like so. I'm going to give it a z index of 5 just so it's hovering above all the other elements on the page. Now if I also copy the props here, and the image color is going to be white, so if I just rename the primary now to white, and if I save, so to add the functionality to the navigator button, if we go on the Mozilla Docs, we have the following method which is being called in the window. So what we're going to do is simply just copy this in our map component. So if we just copy the example across and paste it in just before the return, I'm first of all going to replace the var with constants, so keep it up to date with the ES6 syntax. So now we have defined the 3 arguments that we're going to call. I'm going to create a function named handle location, so const handle location like so, and this will return the following. So I'll copy this across within here. I'm just going to get the window just beforehand. Now that I've declared my function, I'm simply going to copy this, go to my navigator container, and add a on click that is simply going to call the function when we click handle location. Now just to point out as well, because we are using Next.js, we do have some cases where we can use the window object, such as this case, because the button will only be visible when the window has loaded. Therefore, there's no server-side code needed for this. So when we click, the window is then available. So now if I do save, now if I click on the navigator button like so, and now you can see localhost 3000 wants to know your location, so you can either click allow or block. I'm going to just allow it. So now if I expand and see the page entirely, we can now see that the location page is now complete. We have a scroll on the left side, we have a map that you can zoom into on the scroll. If we click on a pop-up, it gives the store information, which is customizable. So if we go into our map component within pop-up, we can now edit the styles. We could add more information from the API. We could do much more with this. We also have the navigator icon in the bottom right corner, which hovers, and we also have the search filter functionality. So in this case, if I wanted to search for all stores titles named Sainsbury's, I now have that feature. We also have the click and collect functionality on here, like so. And we also have filtered out whether this, if the store does not do delivery, then show the orange icon, and if they do delivery, show the maroon Costa icon. So in the next video, we're now going to move on to the menu page.